how's it going out there? I'm Kevin from Liberty Hydrographics, here to show you the Hydrographics and Cerakote process today. I think there's a big misunderstanding as to actually what the two different processes are and what really goes into the processes, because a lot of folks think, you know, they see all the videos of us out there, and I think we kind of do it to ourselves, but a lot of people see the videos that we shoot out there where we'll take, you know, a regular old cup, we'll dip it in the tank, and it comes out like this. And that's clearly it's really not the case. So it's quite a process. There's a lot of stuff that people don't see, and we want to shoot this video to give folks a real good understanding of what hydrographics is, what goes into it, what Cerakote is, what goes into it, and why we charge some of the prices that we charge and all that fun stuff. So today we're actually going to be working on a SCAR 17S. It's a 308 version of the SCAR platform. Luckily, when we do Cerakote or hydrographics on a firearm, we actually do both. So this is going to be a really good video to show you the hydrographics process, the Cerakote process, what all goes into it, and how it's done and how we make it look so good. All right, so the biggest step in any good job is the level of disassembly and the level of prep that you do. Something we take serious, because if you have shoddy prep work, the end result's never going to come out nice. So that's something we put a lot of time and effort into, is proper prep work. That way it's going to give us a good job, it's going to look amazing, and it's going to last. And these are all the parts. So as you can see, we got the level of disassembly we go down to. We have everything broke apart. One of the things that it's good to note, I mean, down to these screws and everything like that. So we use these boxes to keep everything separate from what we're doing. This is going to be done in graphite black Cerakote. This is going to be done in a type of a flat dark earth or some type of a desert sand color. And then of course this is everything that's going to be getting water transfer printed. As you can see, there's quite a bit in here. Thing that has been done, we've gone through and degreased everything pretty much down to the little thing here. You can see a little bit of rust on it, but that's fine. It'll get sandblasted and get parkerized, sandblast, and get everything prepped for refinishing. So we're gonna go over to the sandblaster and get that stuff rolling. So here we are on the sandblaster. This is actually a fresh aluminum oxide. We gotta continually keep a fresh stream of this stuff in this thing. So we just kind of rip the bag apart while it's in here. But this is what we use to prep the surface. It gives the substrate a texture that's really good for Cerakote and other paints and stuff to stick to. It puts almost the perfect surface on there that we need. But now that we've loaded it, we'll put our parts in and we'll get the sandblasting. all these parts blasted. Coming out of the blaster, they still got black media on them. So this is when we'll just take the air hose and blow them off. So now we're moving on to the parkerizing phase. I'm hoping these tanks are hot enough. It's been cold out here. So now that we've finished the parkerizing, we gotta go and start stringing all the parts. And let me explain for a second what the parkerizing does. And some people think, well, this is kind of redundant because the parts are parkerized before and then you sandblasted out the parkerizing. Well, the reason we do this is like these parts right here, you can see there's nowhere to string them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put these in alligator clamps and hang them and then spray them. But the problem is there's still gonna be an area where it's clamped down that the Cerakote's not gonna coat over. So the whole reason behind this is, number one, rust prevention. The other reason is, if you notice, I mean, down here in Florida, the temps, well, the humidity, should I say, is extremely high. And as soon as these parts get sandblasted, if it's any type of, you know, regular gun steel, mild steel, what have you, that's going to begin an oxidation process. And we don't want to put Cerakote over something and have it immediately start oxidizing. Because a lot of times we see guns come through the shop that have Cerakote on them, applied by somebody else, and it's rusting underneath the Cerakote. That's a big no-no. We don't want that to happen. So now we're just going to go into stringing these parts. Pretty much have everything strung. We're still lacking the other box that we're going to be water transfer printed in. These are some of the parts that are getting water transfer printed. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply a product called Micro Slick from Cerakote. And what the Micro Slick is, it's basically a dry film lubricant, and but it's black. The air cure version's gray. We're going to be doing the heat cure version. What we're going to do is we're going to cut in all the insides with the Micro Slick, and that way there's a good solid high performance product on the inside of these substrates here, and then we'll pull foam and other things through and then shoot it with the primer. It's pretty easy. We're going to load up the gun. Probably take us about an hour start to finish. Parts got to cure in the oven for an hour. Spraying it up will be pretty quick and easy, so we're going to go ahead and get that done. Cool thing about this product, there's no hardener I gotta add to it, so I can just dump straight in. So the next part, we're going to go into spraying the some of the pieces here that are going to go on this scar. These are going to be graphite black, so we're going to start spraying those now. Since we have the oven heated up, we'll just start knocking everything out. Alright, so the next thing we're moving into is this scope. Now, because this Leupold, it's like an $8,000 scope, we're not going to force cure it in the oven with the heat cure. So what we're applying now is what's called the C series Cerakote versus the 8 series. The C series is an ambient cure Cerakote. It's mainly meant for really high temperature applications up to 1800 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to go ahead and air cure it in the Magpul Flat Dark Earth. And then we'll move on to spraying these parts and the heat cure Magpul Flat Dark Earth. So check it out. So now that we got the Cerakote done, we're going to start working on all the water chips and printed stuff. As you can see, just to save time, we kind of cut ahead, kind of pre-strung along the parts and everything, but we're gonna, since we sandblast them, we need to wipe all the dust off of them. So we just kind of wipe them down here. As you can see, it gets a little dirty a little fast, but we just want to get any contaminants, etc. off these parts. So when we go to spray the substrate, everything will be nice and clean. Now that everything's dipped, every now and then you're going to get some minor imperfections. So in this step, what we're doing is we're taking a little bit of the Hydrographics film mixed with some black, and we're actually touching up little spots, any minor imperfections. That way everything kind of blends. Here are all the parts. That's that. Alright, so now we're going to shoot the Cerakote clear. It's a matte clear, so the parts that are going to get the Cerakote matte clear are going to be these. Main reason, thickness. It's a very thin product. We're going to go ahead and shoot these. Alright, so now we're putting her all back together. This is the fun part.